Sarah got the promotion. 3 years of late nights, of swallowing frustration in meetings, of being the one who stayed when everyone else went home, and on a Tuesday morning, her manager called her into the glass conference room and said the words she'd been waiting to hear. She felt it then. A real, uncomplicated wave of happiness. She called her partner. She bought herself something nice on the way home. She slept well that night. By Friday, it was gone. Not in a dramatic way. She wasn't depressed. She wasn't ungrateful. She was just already looking. Already scanning for the next thing. Already mentally drafting the version of her life that would come after this promotion. The one where she'd really feel like she'd arrived. If you've ever done this, and I'm guessing you have, because almost all of us have, I want to spend the next few minutes with you on something specific. There's an old idea, and I'm going to put it in plain language. Love and happiness aren't two separate things you're chasing in parallel. They're the same destination. And the thing you're actually looking for, the thing underneath the promotion, the relationship, the move, the next milestone, isn't something you have to earn or find. It already belongs to you. I know how that sounds when you first hear it. Stay with me. Because if it's true, it changes what you're doing on a random Friday afternoon when you catch yourself thinking, if I could just get to the weekend, I'd feel okay. Here's an image I want you to hold on to. Imagine you've spent years searching your house for your keys. You've torn apart every drawer. You've checked every coat pocket twice. You've gotten on your hands and knees and looked under furniture. You're frustrated. You're tired. You've started to wonder if you're losing your mind. And then, in the middle of one of these frantic searches, you look down, and the keys are in your hand. They've been in your hand the whole time. That's not a story about being careless. That's a story about a very particular kind of mistake. The kind where the thing you're looking for is so close to you, so woven into who you are, that your eyes pass right over it because you're convinced it must be somewhere else. Somewhere harder to reach. Somewhere you haven't gotten to yet. We'll come back to those keys. Let's go back to Sarah for a second. Because she's not alone in this, she's the rule, not the exception. Sarah doesn't think of herself as unhappy. If you asked her, she'd say she has a good life. What she would say is that she's never quite satisfied, always slightly behind where she thinks she should be, always one promotion, one renovation, one vacation, one relationship milestone away from the version of herself that actually gets to relax. She assumes this is ambition. A lot of us assume this is ambition. It's the story our culture sells us, that the restlessness is the engine, that the dissatisfaction is what keeps us sharp. But watch what actually happens. We hit the goal, and for about 72 hours, we feel it. And then the feeling evaporates, and we're back in the same low-grade hum of, not yet, not quite, almost. So we pick a new goal. And we tell ourselves this one will be different. What we're actually doing is substituting. We're taking something we can't quite name, call it peace, call it wholeness, call it love, call it the feeling of being at home in your own life, and we're trying to get it through proxies. Achievements, approval, distraction, acquisition. The proxies work for a minute. They never work for long, because they were never the thing. Here's the first piece of the shift. Most of us treat love and happiness as two separate pursuits. Love is the relationship column of the spreadsheet. Happiness is the achievement column. We work on them like they're different projects, and we wonder why succeeding in one doesn't fix the other. What this lesson is pointing at is simpler and stranger. They're the same thing. Wherever one of them actually is, the other one is already there too. You don't find happiness in one room and love in another. They share an address. Which means, and this is the part that's worth slowing down for, when you're chasing happiness through achievement, you're chasing it in a place it doesn't live. And when you're chasing love through performance, through being impressive enough or useful enough, you're doing the same thing. You're looking in the wrong drawer. The thing you actually want isn't in any of the drawers. So here's the turn. Here's where it gets interesting. What if the thing you've been searching for isn't missing? What if it's not even something you're supposed to acquire? What if it's something more like an inheritance, already deposited in your name, already yours, already in your hand? Notice what changes about the search when you take that seriously, even just as a possibility. The search isn't a search anymore. It's a kind of remembering. The work isn't getting somewhere. The work is noticing where you already are. This is the second piece. The shift from seeking to claiming. From, I need to find this, to, this already belongs to me. And most of my exhaustion is from forgetting that. The keys were in your hand. That doesn't mean every problem in your life dissolves. Sarah still has a hard job. The traffic is still bad. The meetings are still brutal. But something underneath all of that gets quieter. The frantic searching stops being the soundtrack. She can still want things. She can still work toward things. But the wanting stops feeling like a hostage situation, where she only gets to be okay once the demands are met. What does this look like on an ordinary Tuesday? It looks like Sarah stuck in traffic after a brutal meeting, catching herself mid-thought. If I could just get to Friday, and instead of riding that thought all the way to Friday, she pauses. She notices she thought the exact same thing last Friday, and the Friday before that, and she lets herself wonder, just for a second, whether the thing she's waiting for is actually waiting for her to stop waiting. It looks like the moment between finishing one task and starting the next, where you don't immediately reach for your phone, because you stop treating that small bit of quiet as a problem to be solved. It looks like noticing that your own contentment isn't something you have to earn through enough productivity. It's not on the other side of the inbox. The reaching doesn't disappear overnight. You'll still catch yourself outsourcing your piece to the next milestone. But once you've seen it, you can't fully unsee it. The reaching starts to feel optional instead of urgent. And in those small gaps where the urgency drops away, you might notice something has been quietly there the whole time, waiting to be remembered. Already yours. Let's sit with that for a few minutes. If you'd like more teachings and guided practices like this, you can like the video and subscribe. And now, we'll move into a short guided meditation. Let's take a few minutes together. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to get this right. Find a way to sit that feels easy. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. Let your hands rest wherever they want to rest. Take one slow breath in. And let it out. Notice that you don't have to make the next breath happen. It arrives on its own. For the next little while, there's nowhere to get to, nothing to figure out, no version of yourself to become. Notice if there's a part of you that's already reaching for the next thought, the next task, the next moment. You don't have to stop it. Just notice it, and gently see if you can let that reaching rest, just for now. Just for these few minutes. Breathe. There's no promotion waiting at the end of this breath. No Friday to get to. No problem to solve. Just this. If an image comes to you, of keys, of an open hand, of something already held, let it come. You don't have to do anything with it. Feel the chair beneath you. Feel the small weight of your hands. Feel the quiet that's been here the whole time. Underneath everything. You were never far from this. Let the breath move on its own. Let the thoughts come and go. Let yourself be here, without needing to improve the moment. Notice, there's a kind of okayness that doesn't depend on anything going right today. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's just here. Quietly, already yours. You don't have to grab it. You don't have to earn it. You just have to stop walking past it. Stay here for one more breath, and one more. When you're ready, let your attention come back to the room, to the light, to the sounds around you. Bring this quiet with you. It belongs to you. You can open your eyes whenever you like. We're glad you practiced with us today. If it's helpful, a free digital copy of A Course in Miracles is available via the link in the description. You're also welcome to leave a short comment like, "I am grateful. Thank you for spending this time here. Whatever you came in carrying, I hope a little of it feels lighter now." Be gentle with yourself this week, especially in the moments you catch yourself reaching for something you may already be holding. Take care of yourself. I'll see you soon.